It's hard to believe it's been 4 years since we've seen each other and you've been on this show. We're going to go back and look at the questions, listen to the questions you all asked me when we started this program, and then we're going to just kind of talk about where are we now on that, what's your thoughts on it, and maybe also talk about how things are going for you in middle school. So I think we've got the questions ready to go, and so let's listen to the first one.
At present, we don't have very many Apple products at our school. I am very interested in having access to iPads and Macs for classwork. Mm-hmm. Do you see the future of technology being Apple or PCs?
So you were asking what my plans were, I think both about technology and also about Apple products, and I think you caused us to laugh because you were talking about having stock in Apple back at the time. Is that right?
Yeah,
you have a little bit of that stock, don't you?
Yes.
So I think we're all probably a little envious of that. Has your stock gone up in the last 4 years?
Almost 200%. Yes.
200%.
Yes.
That's not a bad. That's not a bad increase, is it? I should have been taking more advice from you back then than now. So. But as far as Apple products in your school, in your classroom, I guess you've seen quite a bit of an increase in how many of those are there. So any of you two, would you like to comment on that, his question, and what you've seen in your schools since that time and how it's impacted you maybe?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. Our schools have, I don't know, they have a surplus of Apple products now. And I've seen how much it's really improved our education, mm-hmm. and how well it's helping us, like how much they've used it, and they're just using it to the best of their advantage. And so I think that it's really helped a lot, and it's increased our chances of opportunity.
What have you seen?
Well, we do use a lot of Apple products. All the students have iPads and all the teachers have Macs. It is a great way to learn. Can keep track of stuff a lot easier than carrying around big bulky textbooks. We have our calendars on our iPads. It's just great to have all that.
I don't know that we were talking at that time about you having your own personal device, but that's what we have now. You all have your own iPads, right? Mm-hmm. And what's that mean to have your own personal device like that?
I think it's more a privilege. I think it's really useful to have, just personal. You know, you don't have to share it with other people. You know, you always have it with you.
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege, but I think we've actually taken advantage of them, and we use them every day. And now if you were to take them up, I don't think some of these kids at our school would survive, because they use it for almost all of their classes, and they check their grades on it all the time, and even just for having fun or educational purposes. They use it all the time, and it's really helped them a lot.
I agree with her. One of the benefits of it being our personal iPad is we can not only do education but also have fun on it while still being educational, you know.
Right. Well, that's very interesting, and it's kind of neat to see where you are now and think back to that early question and where we've come. So, well, let's hear the second question, see what that was.
So, what is the best advice you could give one of us going to middle school?
What's the best advice that I can give? And I remember that. And I think I talked about don't be afraid. Do you remember that? Was that good advice? I guess I'll just ask that.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great advice, actually. If I were to tell anyone, I'd say don't be afraid. It's really not that different than elementary school, besides no recess. But you get over it first day.
Yeah, you get over it. You come to terms with that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? So, you know, I think that's important for some of the kids that are in elementary school. Let's just say fifth graders, because they're the ones thinking about it, aren't they? They're probably going, wow, I just got 1 year left. Isn't that kind of what you were thinking? And, you know, so it might be a little scary. So all of you feel that way, that it wasn't that bad to make that transition?
No, it wasn't bad at all, no.
If some fifth grader asked me for my advice, I would definitely tell them, don't think of it as a difficult change, but as a new opportunity.
What would you say?
I would say that it kind of touches back to that aspect where you're just a littler fish in a bigger pond. I mean, I think that's a good thing because in the real world there's, what, like 6 billion people? You're just one of those 6 billion people, and you always have to think of what you're going to do today, and you need to like make sure that you do that, and you need to understand that change is a good thing and that you need to take advantage of it.
What other advice would you give 5th graders going into middle school now that you're 8th graders? I mean, you've seen it all by this point. You're the old kids in the middle school now. So what else would you tell them to think about and kind of make that a little easier for them coming in?
Probably to consider their future more, but don't fear it. Seize the opportunity, and I'm really big on opportunity if you couldn't tell. But I think it's really important for them to think about their future and what they want to do and what their goals are in their life. And so it starts in middle school, and like what classes you take and thinking about what you want to do with your life. And I think it's really important for them to understand what they're getting into.
I agree with her. And another thing is I think you should pick good friends. At the beginning I had a hard time picking friends, maybe some not so good ones.
Do you have any advice about how to pick a good friend?
I want to have friends that are interested in different things than I am, because it's fun to see like how they view things versus how I do. So that's one thing I like, but I also like to have a few of those friends who I know get me because they do all the same stuff as I do, so yeah.
That's a great answer. You guys almost sound like you're seniors, and I know 8th graders, you're at the top of the middle school, but your answers are so well thought out. Well, let's go to that final question, see what that is.
If you could get the students of LISD involved, how could we change the community to become a better place?
I'm interested now in your thoughts. You asked the question about involvement, so is that still an important deal? And what have you seen about kids getting involved in things?
Well, it's absolutely important. Many of the kids that have joined UIL or any extra elective or activities and extracurricular things, they've all really enjoyed it, and maybe some of them found that it wasn't truly for them, but they always had fun with it, and they just kind of became themselves, and that really boosted their confidence, and it helped them grow as a student and as a person. So I think it really helped their character and who they are. So I think it was really important for them.
Okay.
I agree with what she said. Like I think you should try new things. I tried choir in 6th and 7th grade. I found it's not really my thing, but I did really enjoy it, and it was a great opportunity to be with those guys, sing, go to concerts and stuff. It was just a really cool experience. So I think even if you're not sure with something like I was, you should still try it because you'll probably have a pretty fun time.
I agree. I think all these extracurricular and things that are in the curricula, like your electives, are just all good to have because it just gives you more experience and you're more well-versed in everything that you do.
Have you guys got a chance to do any volunteer work or anything? Any of you gotten involved in any of that? What kind of volunteer?
Well, I'm a part of NJHS, and so we need service hours. And so I volunteer at my church with the 2-year-olds, and so I help with them. And I also went to a special ed dance that was thrown at the recreation center near Memorial Park, and I volunteered with that. And so just getting to volunteer is just really fun, and I would do it more often. I would have done it more often if I had known how much joy it brings people, not just yourself but others as well. And it really helped me feel more confident with myself and to go out and do more things like that. And so even after NJHS, I still want to go and do stuff like that.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. Anybody else have any?
Yeah, I'm a member of NJHS as well, and I like to give back in my community to a food pantry called Minnie's Food Pantry. I just think that giving community hours and serving and all that stuff is just good because it makes you feel that you are a part of a community and that other people in the world need you. They need your help and stuff like that. And I think that if you're just there and you need to like do work for people, I think you should always take the opportunity, because it's just good to see people around you and make sure that you help them out.
If there's ever something like a canned food drive or something where other children who aren't as fortunate need help, I'll always donate.
I have to say that I think this idea of getting you guys to come back was a great idea. I've had the pleasure of interviewing so many wonderful kids over the years and becoming friends with them. Kind of out of 53,000 students, you can't know them all, but to form some connections with the kids through this program. But to see you guys come back and to hear how much you've matured and how thoughtful you become and how smart you are and what fine young men and women you've become is really, really, really a treat for me. So I'm glad to get to see you one more time. And as much as you've grown, and I don't just mean physically, in the last 4 years, I can only imagine what you're going to be like when you're seniors, which, you know what? Did it take long to go from 5th grade to 8th grade?
Not at all.
So that's something for those 5th graders to think about. It's going to be even faster getting to that senior year. I wish I could be there and shake your hands on graduation day, but I know you're going to do great in high school. Maybe you won't be afraid going up there. And I know I know you're going to live wonderful lives. You're such wonderful young people. So good seeing you again, and good luck to you all. And thank you for joining us in another episode of Insights.